Okay, so we are going to today continue further with more concepts related to our syllabus part. I would be discussing on that. So, what is that we are going to discuss today, guys? Is the concepts related to, okay, what is Redis cache? We'll look at what is Terraform. Okay, we'll try to understand these things slightly in a detailed manner. Okay, now what is this Redis cache? So let's take one simple scenario. So let's assume you visit this website amazon.in. Okay. So first time when you visited the website, you will see that the page loading time will be slightly higher. Correct. So the page load time will be higher. Okay. It will not immediately load. But have you noticed the same page when you visit second time, the loading is fast? Have you observed that? Yes. The first time when you're accessing that page, it takes a bit of time. But the second time when you're accessing it, you will observe the page loading is quite faster, quite quick. Why is this happening? So this is where the Redis cache comes in picture. So Redis cache, okay, is a concept which basically reduces the page load time. When the first time you access it, it will take a time for page to load, but then after those pages are coming from Redis cache servers. So cache is a memory on your RAM, right? And anything that you read it from your RAM memory, so every time you need not talk to your main server and get the data. First time you're interacting with the server, getting the data. Second time onwards, the data will directly come from Redis cache. So this is where Redis cache plays a major role. If you now just look at here, Redis cache, high level manner, Redis cache, see what it says, okay, directly the information itself that you see here is get started with Redis cache, build world's fastest data platform. And so many companies are already using this. So many companies are already using this now. Are you understanding now? So we are here going to use a concept of Redis cache that will improve performance of my application. First time when you're accessing it, it will be slow. But regularly when you access the same application, you will observe that the application accessibility happens to be faster. And how do we do that? So the concept of Redis cache would come into what? Picture. What concept will come into picture? Redis cache. Everybody clear with this part? Yes. Have you really noticed that first time when you're accessing it, we observe that it happens to be little slow. But second time when you access that page, have you noticed it's little quick? This is all happening because the concept behind the scene they have used is Redis cache. Okay, let's move further now. Now, what is the next thing, guys? We would be talking about. So, is it like fast pace database? Okay, I have not worked on that, so I don't have much information on that. So, fast and scalable tool for, let's see what is it basically. What you are talking about. Hmm, so there is some disconnection. No, that's a different thing, right? What you are talking and what we are discussing, that is a different thing. Okay, it's a different thing. Okay, let's continue further. Now, what is the next thing we are going to look at is this part. So we are going to now see what is Terraform and why this is required. But before talking about Terraform, we will discuss about Linux, shell scripting, and in AWS, what all things you would be learning. See, Linux is very, very important, and as a developer, you should know Linux commands. Now, you might wonder, sir, I never come across this where institutes they tell as a backend developer you should learn Linux. But Learning Linux is must and should for a backend developer. Reason, when you deploy your application online to a server, now this server would be Linux based operating system. I created a server, and that server I have a Linux operating system. Usually these Linux servers will not have a GUI where I have a mouse. I will right click, create a folder, right click, delete a folder, right? All of these things I'll not be able to do it with a GUI. Whatever you try to do it in Linux, you have to use commands. If you want to create a file, you have to use a Linux command. If you delete a file, you have to use a Linux command. Are you understanding now? If you want to copy a file, install a software, anything you want to do it, Linux commands are mandatory. And if you don't know Linux commands, you will not be able to interact with Linux servers. Okay, are you understanding? See, be very serious. You see some of the seniors, 21 they joined the course, until 2025 they not completed the course. That is the seriousness they have. So we will be upfront very strict. Are you understanding? 4 years, 5 years is required to complete a course. Now you are asking me after 5 years give me course access. So what you were doing for 4 years? See, once I can give you access, twice I can give you access. You take 10 times access from me and still don't do the course. How do I accept that? Yes or no? Correct? Definitely we will not help you in such cases. Be serious. I'm very clear. Right? So you have to be clear. Do you require 4 years to complete any course? Which means you have spent 4 years. After all your friends are placed, then you're coming back to me. Then you're telling, give me course access again. I will not provide. My course validity is 8 months. Placement validity is lifetime. Why sir so strict? If I don't keep a validity, you will not complete course. Then you will take it for granted. Lifetime access. We will study 2 years, 3 years. So now you notice all the batches, people are very serious. 8 months they will complete, whatever it is, at maximum 2 months addition is given. Here and there 1 month extra I will give you. Take 9 months. But if you don't complete the course only, then what about placements? Yes or no? Be serious. Okay? So if you're not serious, then we will all have trouble. So in order to interact with your Linux server, right, we will require Linux commands. Tell me, Linux commands is important or not? Is Linux commands important or not? It is important. Linux commands are what? Important. Apart from Linux, we will also use shell scripting, right, to perform some cron jobs. What is cron jobs? You know, exactly at 2 o'clock, I want a particular task to run automatically. Let's say exactly at 2 o'clock, okay, emailer should go to all my customers. Exactly at 5 o'clock, I've got 1,000 customers. To all that 1,000 customers, exactly at 5 o'clock, one WhatsApp message should go. A follow-up message should go. Like how you are getting follow-up messages for my course, yes or no? Right? That is all been scheduled. We are not doing it manually. Okay, it is all scheduled. That is called as a cron job. Now if you want to schedule such things in your server, then we should know cron jobs. What we should know? Cron jobs. Is this clear everyone now? Everyone got an idea about it? What do you mean by cron jobs, by the way? Okay, what do you mean by cron jobs, by the way? And to implement that, shell scripting is also necessary. Because today this is a very common feature. You book a doctor appointment, 1 day before you will get an email, 2 hours before again you will get a notification as a reminder that you booked the doctor's appointment, please be on time. I will send a follow-up reminder message. To set such cron jobs, shell scripting will become necessary for us. Okay, so automating task to execute at a particular time, I can go with what? Shell scripting in high level manner. Now, once you know Linux and shell scripting, then you will start with AWS services. Now, AWS, can you please repeat once? See, I want at a particular time a particular task to execute automatically. Okay, for example, today you did the registration. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock, one follow up message should go to you that you have a doctor's appointment next day at so and so time. This follow up messages will not be sent manually. Once I write a code, Once you register in my application, these messages will go automatically. I will not send any follow-up messages here. These messages are going to go automatically. And this particular thing is what basically your cron jobs will be responsible to do. For it, cron jobs to create, we should know shell scripting. Are you understanding? Everyone? Yes, now clear, Satyam? Satyam, are you clear with this now? Yes, any other doubts, students, do you have got? Any other doubts, students, have you got? Please tell me. Okay. Now, we are next going to learn in our course is AWS services. Now, this AWS services is all about setting up servers and infrastructure to run your application online. For example, I want to deploy my application. So for that now, no, it doesn't understand cron jobs. Using shell scripting, I can create cron jobs, I said. I can do many more things with shell scripting. But one simple example is given. If you want to do such things, you should know shell scripting. It's not cron jobs understands only shell scripting. I'm using shell script to create a cron job. So shell script is a scripting language. I'm writing a script and this script will automate my task. That automation of the task, I will do it with shell scripting in my server. Okay. Now, AWS services are very important because we'll have to create an infrastructure online. If you do not create an infrastructure online, deployment cannot be done. So, how to create a server? What is the configuration of server? How much GB of RAM is required? How much hard disk is required? Which processor are you using it? All of these things we are going to do with what? EC2. EC2 gives us selection of servers. If it's a small application, I will go with a basic server. If it is a big application, I will go with what? Average server. Very big application, I'll go with the best servers with the best performance. As you go higher, the charges and the rental will be higher. So how to create these servers in AWS? How will you do that? So those things we will study here. You will learn EBS, like, okay, elastic block storage. Like for example, in your system, if you're running out of memory, what will you do? You will attach additional hard disk. Today I have got 500 GB of memory. Now I want 1 terabyte of memory. What I will do? I will attach additional hard disk to it. To do that, now we will learn what is EBS concept. EBS concept will give you a concept to add additional memory to your existing server, right? Then you will learn load balancers, which I already talked about it. Then we will learn security group. This will help us to control the access on the server. Who can basically access the server, who cannot access, all of these things I can take care of it. Okay, key pairs. So key pairs are like credentials. If you have this key pairs, only then you can log into your server. The memory types, there are different types of memories like SSD. Okay, we have got magnetic disk. The higher futuristic memory types, you use it like SSD and things like that, rates are higher. If you go with a lower one, then how to select these memory types, right? Which memory type is suitable for what kind of application, we will study that here. Then we will look at auto scaling. What is auto scaling? What if the number of servers reduces, increases? How do we do that? Automatically number of servers reducing when load is less. Number of servers will increase when load is more. Auto scaling concept we will study. Snapshot. How to take the backup of my server or data or anything. How do I take the backup of my server? Tomorrow if server crashes, at least if I have a backup of that, I can still try to take that backup and create another server. That's called a snapshot. VPC, we will create our private network, right? How to set up a private network in AWS. Like I have an office here. Now I have a server. For simple example, let's say I want to give internet connectivity in every room. I want to give internet connectivity in every room. So what will I do now? In order to give internet connectivity, I will do some small networking. Probably I will give one internet connection point. One point I will give, let's say in the basement. There I will connect internet. That internet connection, then to every router in the room, it has to split. Let's say I've got 1000 Mbps internet. Now I've got 10 rooms. every room I have to now allocate only 100 Mbps speed. So how do I do that now? And that internet is accessible only within my building. How do I create that private network? Correct? Because whenever you set up the servers for your company, it has to be on a private network so that it is more safe. So what is this VPC, virtual private cloud? We will understand that. Then we will see I am a role, which gives you more security to access your servers, authentication, right? So we are going to give here the security roles. Who can add something to the server, modify something in the server. Okay, I can create a role. For example, he joined my company. I can create a role with a restricted access to that server. I will not give him admin rights. I'll give him only those features access in AWS which is sufficient for this employee. Got it, everyone? Now then we have got EKS, Kubernetes. In order to implement Kubernetes in your AWS, we use the concept of what? EKS. Then we have CloudWatch, CloudFormation. What is CloudFormation? Terraform. See, CloudFormation is outdated. We will learn, but Terraform is important. Now, one way is create your servers, everything one by one manually, right? One by one man. Yes, Kubernetes is a concept, but how will you implement that concept? So AWS provides us EKS. EKS is the implementation internally using Kubernetes. So we will use EKS that will in turn use Kubernetes and apply all that auto scaling everything. But auto scaling everything to work, firstly AWS should provide that feature. Then auto scaling, load balancing can all happen. Are you understanding? Then we will learn Terraform. What is Terraform? Beautiful tool. Okay, very extensively used. We will learn here a language called as HCL, HashiCorp Configuration Language. We will be using your HCL. What this Terraform does, I will generate the script once. And when I run that script, it will automatically create all the servers, everything for me. Just run the script and the script will take care of creating the server configurations, virtual private cloud, databases, everything it will take care of it. So you need not manually go to AWS and do this manually. Terraform is a tool which can create infrastructure in any cloud service provider, not just AWS. Okay, it can also be GCP, it can also be Azure, it can be AWS. Lot of things can be integrated with Terraform. So today demand for Terraform is high. So using Terraform, I can create servers, everything. Once you write a script, whenever you want an infrastructure, run the script, automatically infrastructure is created. That manual efforts of creating infrastructure will be automated here. Did you understand now? Yes. Then you will be learning, various other things like Ansible, Grafana. I will not get everything into detail for now. Reason being is, see, beginners for now understanding will become little tough. But S3 is again important. You know, you visit some websites like Airbnb, make my trip. How many photos would be there? Guess? Lakhs. Every hotel minimum 10-15 photos. If there are 1,000 hotels also, if I tell, it is near about 5,000. They have got hotels all over India. So they have lakhs of photos. Now where will you store these lakhs of photos? I require a cloud storage like in your mobile phone. If you click the photo and store in your mobile phone, what will happen? Mobile phone memory will be, right? You'll be running out of the memory. Your mobile phone will start hanging. So what we will do now? We will take an online storage. We will take an online storage. Like you click the photo today and these photos that we are clicking is getting stored in a Google Drive, online cloud. It is getting stored in a cloud. So what happens is the whole, memory utilization of your hardware mobile is not happening. The utilization of memory is happening in cloud. So because of that, what's happening is a less load on your mobile. Same way, tomorrow when we build any applications, all photos, files, folders, everything I will keep it in S3. That is a simple storage system given by AWS, wherein portals like Naukri, where millions of resumes are uploaded, I will keep it in S3. They give us unlimited storage so that the burden of storage is not on my server. The burden of storage will go to what? S3. I can also upload big video files, audio files, all these things I can keep it here. So when we are building realistic application, we will have to learn how to make my Java code communicate with S3, so that S3 will then upload all my photos and keep it in a cloud, so that my server where my application is running, the load will not be on that. Otherwise, imagine the more and more data keep getting added to my server, then the server configuration now and then we will have to keep upgrading it, which is not a good solution. Like reports, if you go to application like Practo, patients can upload their reports, but where will you store the reports? I require S3. That important service it is. Then we have Elastic Beanstalk. This is another way of setting up infrastructure, but usually will not use this in industries. Very basic one it is. RDS, that will help you to set up databases. That will help you to set up what? Databases. Are you understanding now? They're all different. They're all different. Ansible and all, we will discuss about that in practicals. Don't worry about that. Fine. We will all discuss about those things in practicals. I will not put that now. Now, some understanding on the syllabus I'm giving it. See, this is all we are going to study. Then finally comes is your project work. Okay. Then finally comes is your project work. Are you all able to understand, students? Are you all able to follow what I'm telling? Yeah. Everyone? Yes. Okay. So now think about it. This much syllabus we have to touch, prepare, be well versed with it, then you will go with placements. The next thing, we are going to start with what project are we going to do? Okay, our project work. Let's understand that. Now the first step in the project would be developing a complete user module. Let's say I'm developing an application like Practo, which has doctor appointment system and things like that. So firstly, I will start with the user module. And in this user module, I will teach you how a doctor and patient can sign up. Doctor or patient can sign up. Correct? How they will register themselves, okay, in this application. How that sign up feature is developed and how the security measures are being taken care of. Then we are going to develop here login with OTP, right? How does this work? How login with OTP feature works? Then we are going to look at your roles. If a doctor logs in, he can access only certain features. Patient will log in, he can access only certain features. How do you implement all of these things? Correct? So when we say login, okay, so this login also will require knowledge of JWT token. How do we implement this? Fine. Now, since we are going to use OTP, we will learn here a third party API integration, like third party API integration, like how to send SMS, how to send WhatsApp, how to send email. The OTPs can be sent on three different, okay, notifications. I can send it this way. Is this clear now? So how do we implement this now? Then after, what if I want to store doctor profile photo, doctor profile photos? So I'll be using here S3. All the photos I will teach you how to keep it on S3. You understanding now that how we need to work is this will be complete microservices application. So when you start with any project, firstly you should know how to prepare ER diagrams. So that's like a blueprint for building the backend code. Like when you're constructing a building, the design of the building is important. When you're constructing a building, the design of the building will play a major role. Isn't it, guys? Now, if the design document is not there, can I start with a construction? No. So ER diagrams are very, very important and they will be called as low level design. Fine. And before low level design, we will prepare high level design, an architectural diagram, that how these microservices will communicate with each other, right? How one microservice will talk to another microservice. We are all going to have a look at it. Then you will learn ER diagrams, isn't it, guys? In the ER diagrams, you will be now learning how to design your database. And for that designing of database, once done, then coding will start. That is the procedures we should follow. You cannot directly start writing the code. So we will learn all of these things. During your Hibernate classes, I will be teaching you ER diagrams. And to create ER diagrams, we will use certain tools in Workbench. Okay, then after once your user module is been developed, then we will build doctor service. Doctor service. So doctor service will be, he can add his profile details, his bio, right? What is the experience he has got, things like that, xyz stuff. Correct. Then after that he can modify, delete, okay, and fetch his details. Got it? How this will happen? The next one, the doctor can also see appointments of patients. Appointments of what? Appointments of patient. Correct. And then we will very importantly build here a search feature. Search feature which should give us, now for example, if I put cardiologist, I will get all the doctor details of cardiologist with the appointment time and date. The date and time, okay, of appointments he's taking it, along with the price. Along with what? The price. Are you understanding? So this is one microservice. I'll consider this as one project. I'll consider this as another project. I'll make them communicate with each other. Then after, we people are going to work on patient service, where the patient can now add his details. Then after that he can book appointment. He can book what? Appointment. Now when he books an appointment, okay, book an appointment, there should be what? Payment gateway integration. How payment gateway we are going to integrate here when he does a booking. Fine. Then after that, here the patient will now, okay, upload his reports in S3. The patient will now upload his reports in what? S3 services. Because there will not be one or two reports. He might have 10, 15 files. So keeping that in project is a wrong idea. Lot of people, they will create a folder within project only and keep it. If you do that, project size will become bigger and bigger and performance of application will reduce over the time. You should always keep the heavy files somewhere in the third party tools, which is very highly secured as well, and then reduce the load on your application, right? This all will be secured. Fine. Then after, the fourth one, we people can also add here like online medicine ordering. Online medicine ordering. So here it will be add medicine, online medicine ordering. So for this, the first role is going to be now is the inventory management. It will be what? Inventory management. So he will add a medicine and then automatically on expiry delete the medicine entry, okay, and send notification to inventory manager about it. So suppose I have a medicine, it's going to expire the next month. I will now send one notification telling that this is going to expire. You remove this from your online inventory. Correct? Then we will have B is the customer, who can now search medicine, then upload prescription, upload prescription, and then place order with payment gateway integration. Payment gateway integration. Did you understand now? Yes. Yes. The searching feature we are developing in doctor. The search feature will develop in doctor, but this is accessible in patient. Are you understanding? The search feature is developed in doctor because I'm searching doctors. But who will access that search feature? Patient. So we will make this intercommunication using microservices concept. So this patient project has to communicate with doctor when searches happens. So I will be going ahead and doing that. Yes. Is this clear, everyone? So like this, we will be implementing the project. Okay, we'll prepare a complete high level design for microservices, ER diagrams, and we'll implement these things in actual. Is this clear? Then we will see notification systems using Kafka. How to use Kafka and how notification systems can be developed here. Is this clear now? Are you now clear about the syllabus roadmap? Are you all clear with the syllabus and roadmap? But now to reach to this project level, lot of foundation work we have to do. Okay, this is the last step working on project, because before you work on project you should know Hibernate, you should know Spring Boot, you should know Spring Security, you should know Java. Lot of things we will have to work on, and once you are aware of all of these things, then only we guys are going to proceed further with what basically the project part here. Okay, any doubts? Any doubts, guys? Complete deployment you'll be learning here in your AWS. The CI/CD pipeline that you see here, I'll be teaching you that here. This one. We'll set up a pipeline. Okay, that will teach you how to automate your deployment activity. Okay, then after all of these things is completely ready for placements, then the last and final step, TypeScript and Angular comes in picture. But before this only, maximum placements will take place and people will get through. Okay, I hope now you're all clear with the syllabus part, students. So isn't it a serious journey? To complete these many things, it will take time, and only when you are sure about all these learnings and confident about it, then out of 10 interviews, I'm sure you should be able to get at least 1 or 2 offers. I'll not tell 10 on 10, but after attending 10 interviews, 1 or 2 offer letters you should get. Your preparation should be at that level. Okay, we will go with a parallel approach, AWS and backend together. So there will be a lot of assignments I will give you with live classes. Live classes will go on, plus video assignments will happen. Live classes, video assignment. It goes like that. Okay, we will go with a proper plan so that more syllabus we cover in lesser time. Is this clear, everyone? Any doubts now you have, you can please tell me. Interview C, 4.5 months later, slowly you can start. You can slowly start 4.5 months later, but actual impact of placements is 6.5 months later only. And I'm again telling, don't do mistakes like some of the seniors who are not at all completing course only. And when you don't complete the course, you're expecting placements. How will that happen? Right? See, now suddenly 21 student messages me that please give me course access. And when we verify, 8 to 10 times access are given. Think about it. We have given 8 to 10 times, we have supported that candidate. Now finally what we should do? What is he doing taking access in 8 to 10 batches? Either he's taking that ID and giving it with friends to juniors, correct? Or he's not studying at all, simply taking the access. You should not be like that. We have an alumni meet coming the next month again. All attend offline. I will announce the date today itself. I'll keep an alumni meet. Next December, I will keep it on 18th. 18th December, we will have an alumni meet, right, where you can interact with all the recently placed candidates and gather the interview questions from them. Make a note of this. Okay, it's Thursday, sorry. We keep it on Saturdays, right? So we'll keep it on 20th then. Because usually we keep it on Saturdays, not Thursday. So 20th we will keep it. Okay, 20th I'm keeping one again, mega alumni meet. Like this, every month we will keep one mega alumni meet. And we will make you interact with the placed candidates to gather the interview questions from them. Is this clear? Yes? That's it, guys. So see you again. Sir, regarding the job, is a temporary contract? No. See, what happens is companies, once you join, see guys, I'll tell you, if you have studied well, you're prepared well, once you step inside the company, from there any job in future you will take easily. Are you understanding? Yes. Might happen, some companies might happen that the project got over, but when the candidate is well equipped, immediately change the job and go to another company. Simple thing. That confidence itself will be different when you're working in company. Out of 1.5 lakh IT companies, can't I get one job? Your life you will work in what, 7 8 companies, and then you'll retire. We don't even require 1.5 lakh companies. 7 8 companies you work and then you retire. That's it. Yes or no? So all we have to understand is first is stepping inside the company, being safe, learning things, and once you are seasoned and you've understood things, you'll be able to then progress by yourself. Then you don't require anyone because you know the knack now how to crack the interview, how to apply, how to get interview calls. You're clear about it. Is this clear? See, when this happens, I'll tell you, when the candidate are using chat GPT to crack interview. Somehow they got a job, but now after working for 2 years also, if you have not picked any skills, then that's difficult for you. Then what are you doing in company for 2 years? Yes or no? See, if you're in company for 2 years and after being in company for 2 years, you tell me you still have not picked any skills, then what are you doing for 2 years in company? Correct? Which means there is something wrong. Candidate is not prepared. Somehow managing to survive in company. That should not be the case. Learn well during the course, so challenges will not be higher. Bye, guys.